Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are in Heathrow, Time Models rendition of Heathrow. You can see busy as always, probably busier in real life. These are the Terminal 5s, 5A, B, and C, and we are parked around Terminal 2, I think it is. Yeah, Terminal 2. That's stand 212. Today we shall be flying into Storm AB. It's just taking over the UK with up to 90 mph winds. We are expecting 55 mph winds at landing. Now, trying to power up the plane. We've got the battery on, emergency exit lights, standby power, navigation lights, and chokes ground power unit. Doors can be opened up. Ground power unit on the bus. Better start aligning the IRSs because those will take a few minutes. 8 minutes. Now you may have noticed that we're using the Ryanair livery. Ryanair typically doesn't fly out of Heathrow, but why not? Right, going to our flight plan. The 04 weight at the moment is 43,111. Estimated 04 weight is 56,375 minus 43,111. Gives us a payload of 13,264. Right, I think that's it for the weights. Oh, fuel 5344. That should take us to Edinburgh, and if we need to, Glasgow, because that's our alternate. Echo Golf Lima Lima. So that's the position. Flying to Echo Golf Papa Hotel. We have flight number R388. I just picked a random number. Oh, 088 0388. There we go. Then we are going to put the flight plan in. Homeless is the first waypoint. Then Welling. I believe is this one. Via T418. Tango 418. That's the airway. Then Tango 420. To TNT. And then Uniform November 57 should take us to Paul and then Uniform November 601 to INPIP. So I'll hold off on the departure and arrival for now until we get takeoff clearance. If we get takeoff clearance. Because with this 12.3 update, it seems like um, the ATC is broken. There was a bit of improvement initially, and then it's now gone downhill. 56.4 tons, and then we're using 3 4 hour trip. I've rounded up the trip and taxi in case we have to wait a bit before takeoff. Reserve should be 2.3. Cost index 20. Cruising altitude 32,000 feet. Wind heading 252 at 095. ISO 011. I'll also leave the takeoff reference until we have takeoff information. I forgot to load up the fuel, and we can get some doors closed. Passenger boarding. I think the luggage is all done. Okay.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
For a second there, I thought that was a guy wearing a durag. Nope. Just his hair. Ryanair 0388 to EGPH.
Guys, the wheels on board.
EGPF is our ultimate airport. Cruising at 32,000 feet. Actually, I'm just going to. Okay, I'll do it the long way. T418. I was going to copy and paste, but I realized I closed the tab. Perhaps I'll turn off left traffic till after departure. Pull UN 601. I'll as well in TNT, pole, and pip, T418, T420, UN57, UN601. That looks good. And you can see irises have aligned. So that 8 minutes flew by.
Delivery. Ryanair 388. Hello. Boeing 737-800. Request IFR clearance to Edinburgh.
Ryanair 388. Clear to Edinburgh. Routing as filed. Climb via Uniform Mike Lima Alpha 1 Foxtrot. Squawk 0304. QNH 1025.
Cleared IFR to Edinburgh. Route as filed. Climb via Uniform Mike Lima Alpha 1 Foxtrot. Squawk 0304. QNH 1025. Ryanair 388.
Ryanair 388. Reset correct. Contact ground 121.705. When ready for taxi.
It's meant to be around 5:30. Yep, 5:30 local time.
Flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
Cruising altitude 32,000 feet. Let's get the landing altitude 133. How do I reduce the music volume? Perfect. That's another way. Okay, dome light wouldn't help much. So yeah, it's 5:30, but it's a bit cloudy, so it's a bit dark in the cockpit. And we'll probably be arriving at dusk. Cruising altitude is 32,000 feet. Let's see, can we get running 27 right?
London Heathrow ground. Ryanair 388. Request departure via Uniform Mike Lima Alpha 1 Foxtrot. London Heathrow ground. Ryanair 388. Request departure via Uniform Mike Lima Alpha 1 Foxtrot.
And there we go, a broken ATC system. Some quick tests. Fire test for extinguishers, good. Floodlights are okay. Cargo fire test. Speed warning tests, good. Stall tests. Nope. That's interesting. Is it because the APU is not on yet? Four pumps can come on. Hold the APU for a few seconds. Low oil pressure. Seatbelts can come on. Hydraulics can come on. Window heats. Trim air. Takeoff configuration warning. Yep, that works. Done cargo fire test on all these tests. Well, not all of them. Not the flight recorder, but that's fine. I'm going to skip through a lot of these. Then airport and terrain can come on, and airport terrain for the first officer. Seeing as ATC are not really being helpful.
London Heathrow ground. Ryanair 388. Unable. Uniform Mike Lima Alpha 1 Foxtrot. Departure. Request vectors.
Ryanair 388. Unable. Uniform. Mike Lima Alpha 1
Turn 7
Foxtrot.
right.
Departure. Expect vectors.
Formula 1F. Aiming for ILS 24 by NP1E. Going to remove the discontinuity and that's fine. So our runway should be to our right, the yaw damper on. Our runway should be just there. Now, how do we get the altimeter? Okay. I know how. Let's see, on the chart somewhere, there should be frequencies. There we go, ATIS.
London Heathrow ground. Ryanair 388. Request departure via Uniform Mike Lima Alpha 1 Foxtrot.
128.080.
Initial contact you have. Information. Lima. London Heathrow. Information. Lima.
APU is on.
1610 Zulu.
On the bus.
Arriving. Runway 2.
APU bleed on.
Left. Departing. Runway 27.
Backs
right.
on.
Wind, light, and variable. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions. Few at 4,006.
GPU disconnects.
Temperature
Can close the doors.
Dew point 7. QNH 1025. Transition level. Flight level 070. Be advised. Towering cumulus observed nearby. Advise on initial contact you have. Information. Lima.
QNH 1025.
London Heathrow. Information. Lima.
There we go.
1610 Zulu. Arriving. Runway 27. Left. Departing. Runway 27. Right.
Course
Wind,
279.
light, and variable. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky conditions. Few at 4,600. Temperature 18. Dew point 7.
We've already got the weather. 279. Nope, sorry, 269. Same here. First officer's one is set as well. Right, let's request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, we haven't even got his squad code.
On schedule today, and weather en route is looking pretty smooth. Shortly, the cabin crew will be showing you a safety demonstration. This is for your
Okay,
safety.
all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Run proximity warning system text.
Pull up. Wind shear.
That's
Wind
done.
shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle.
Minimums to barrow.
Pull up. Airspeed low.
I've done all of that. Got the flight number, airways, departure routes,
Tow
and
connected
arrival.
and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Releasing parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Left and right packs can come off. And right engine.
Welcome on board this Ryanair flight.
That's engine 2 starting. And you can see engine 1 is still normal. Still turned off. Now engine 1. Crossfeed valve light dim. There we go. Hydraulics over 2800. Well, that's quite That's higher than I'm used to seeing on the Zibo mod. Mix.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Manual braking, then parking brake. That's fine.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Engines 1 and 2 on the bus. Engine start switches to continuous. I'll get the logo lights on. Bus is going to be dark and cloudy. Isolation valves to auto. Left and right packs on auto as well. APU bleed can come off, and APU can come off. Disconnect. Probe heats are on. So I've gone past all this.
Tow is disconnected. A bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Courses are set, so flight directors can come on as well. Departure heading is set. Auto brake to reject a takeoff for a flow reset. I should probably do that at the beginning with the engines off. There's a bypass pin, so flaps can come down. Flaps 5, and that should correspond with the flap indicator. Taxi lights are on, return of lights are on. I'm going to release parking brake and start to roll. Departure runway is 27 right. Departing via omelette 1F.
London Heathrow route. Ryanair 388. Departure by Alpha 1 Foxtrot.
Anyway, as that's not working, we'll just do our flight controls test. Full front, full back, full left, full right, full left rudder, full right rudder. The rudder control is obviously linked to the tiller here. But that's because it's flight sim and not in real life, but some people do have a different peripheral that they use. I think all doors are closed. That's fine. Actual temperature, takeoff flaps are set. Center of gravity, I don't have that. Let's go to N1. Flaps 5. V2 speed is 144. The center of gravity should be 17.8. Which makes our flaps, sorry, our trim 5.75. I've done all of that. Flight controls check done. Taxi and runway turn off lights are on. Oops, takeoff configuration warning test. Let's do that. No warning, which is good. I'm on taxiway Lima. Should probably make this turn. Would have been nice to have ATC, but hopefully in the next update. That's Alpha 4. We're going to take Alpha 3, which is the next one. So, brake test. Yep, brakes are fine. Cabin crew ready. After A13, sorry, A3. Oops, so we can't cross A3. Actually, we've got no ATC, so we'll just cross. Auto throttle is on. Landing lights are on. Weather radar. LNAV, VNAV. Transponder on TA array. So far, so good. Right, it looks like we are ready to depart. timer on. %40 stable. And Toga. And away we go. Trying to maintain center line.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. A very high pitch takeoff. That's terminal 5.
1000.
Now I can trim a bit. Flaps 2. We are approaching flaps 1 setting. Flaps 1. Flaps up, landing gear off, go to brake off, and just that switches can go off. What's the transition altitude for Heathrow? I thought it was 7,000. I thought it was 5,000 feet or something. Well, I guess we'll find out when the HPA goes yellow. HPA has gone yellow, so it was 6,000 feet. Altimeter set to standard. That's just the engine increasing power, that's why there was that vibration. So we're going to maintain 6,000 feet for the next 5 miles and then climb to 18,600, which is where we're going to be at Woburn. so I can release the cabin crew. But I have to keep the lights on because we're still below 10,000 feet. You can see the rain effects on the windscreen. Right, there will be a bit more vibration as the engines kick back to power. There we go. Those are the CFM 56s. Across 10,000 feet so the lights can come off. Landing lights, runway turn off lights, and taxi lights all off. Strobe lights.
Enjoy your flight with us.
And we've got bad weather ahead in the next 70 miles or so. We're going to be going through the bad weather, and it looks like we may arrive to a somewhat dry runway, but we're still expecting it to be windy. Seatbelts can come off, at least for now. Recall. Recalled already. And now we're beginning to go into the bad weather. You can see 21 knot winds already, and a bit more inputs from the autopilot. Still climbing. It looks like the weather radar has improved. In the first version of the 12.3 update, there seem to be lines going across, but this one looks more organized. I think I spoke too soon. The lines are back. It looks like we are already in storm Amy. Wind that's wending. It looks like it's going to be windy for the whole trip. We're at 25,000 feet. And it's going to be even windier at TNT, which is in 35, 40 miles. 1240 plus 1252, which puts us somewhere around here. So it's going to be very windy around there. Well, there we go. This is TNT. We'll be doing 30,000, no, 32,000 at TNT. 93 knots winds. I guess we'll compare when we get there. In pretty sure there's a way to check. So TNT is going to be 95, arriving there at 17:10 Zulu time, so 6 minutes. Still climbing. So at 30,000 feet, bank angle limiter can be set to 10 degrees. We're approaching our top of climb in 1.2 nautical miles. There we are, 32,000 feet. It's actually going smoother than I thought it would. Lighting set to cruise.
Hello again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruise altitude and the seatbelt sign is now off. Feel free to move around the cabin, but we do ask if you are in your seat that you do keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence. Otherwise, invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy them.
Now, smoothish sailing or not? We'll find out shortly. Because it's a short flight, we are just 120 nautical miles away from top of descent and should be descending at 17:23 hours Zulu time. And it's 17:07 Zulu time. Which gives us 16 minutes. of cruise time. You really can't see much with the storm. I'm not sure if these are meant to be clouds or yeah, we are flying in the clouds. Well, that explains why it went dark. And there we are dancing around. Now that's a bit more stable. I'm going to take a 10 minutes comfort break and I will see you shortly. We are now approaching the top of descent in roughly 30 miles. Oh, 23. Oh yeah, 23 miles, yeah. But, I'm going to start getting ready. I've already adjusted the altitude and the autopilot altitude to 10,000 feet so that we can start to descend automatically, which is a great Boeing feature. Somehow I can never get the Magnite to do the same. No, sorry, the Magnite does it. It's the tallest Airbus A321. My understanding is that tallest one, well, it's not tallest, but Airbus wants the pilot to decide to descend before actually descending. You can see it's still a bit bumpy. For descent weather, I'm going to go to the airport information. I've already got the landing altitude. The ATIS is 131.35. We are doing an ILS approach, so the ILS frequency is 108.9. Seven miles away from our top of descent. We should be arriving in the next 1 minute, and we are 23 minutes away from touchdown. So as we get closer and begin to descend, we should get the weather information. The course is 241. And now we're descending automatically. Local QNH will come. Let's get live traffic back on. The chart is giving us heading 240, but the plane is saying 241 for the course. I'll leave it as it is for now. Decision altitude is Let's go with 85 because I'm not sure of visibility. I thought it was just a basic ILS, but it turns out they've got Cat 2. As I've got no ATC, I'm going to assume I'm cleared to 3,000 feet. The terrain seems clear. And 3,000 feet is our missed approach altitude. Transition altitude is 6,000. I think I've got all the information I need. Max 210 knots for procedure. We're below 30,000 feet, so the bank angle limiter can go back to 25 degrees. Now frequency set, course set, altitude bug set. Landing performance, runway 24. So I'll deal with the parking arrangement when we exit the runway. Should be simple enough. Estimated landing weight is 58921. And I'll get the QNH temperature and wind information. Probably by the time we get to Eskdo, which is at 17:33, so in the next 3 minutes I should be able to fill out that information. And that should also give me the auto brake. Still descending. I wonder if these are the Scottish Highlands, because I'm not sure why it's so vivid at 21,000 feet. So that's Glasgow. The 3 minutes is up, but we're a bit higher than we should be. So I'm going to have to slow down. Zoom in a bit. Speed brakes down. More speed brake. The transition altitude is 6,000 on the chart and it's 7,000 according to the recorded message. One 023. There we go, 1023. What does it mean wind light and variable? So runway 24, temperature 14. So we're not going to need anti-ice. Visibility more than 10 miles, which is good. .23 and it's saying that there's no rain or anything. We'll go auto brake 3, so it's going to be a bit of a sharp landing. So we should be making this turn as maximum 210 knots. We should be doing 154 knots here. Flaps 15. So we're below 10,000 feet, landing lights can come on, taxi lights on, seat belts on, engine start switches to auto, strobe lights are on. Okay, we seem to finally be getting on profile. You've got the magenta diamond aligning. There we go. Speed brakes can go down. I'm not sure if this is accurate because the wind is saying 8 knots, but there's... Okay, now it is smoothened out. Flaps 1. I'm just monitoring the speed to make sure that we don't overshoot. Speed brakes up. Flaps 2. Flaps 5. Speed brake down. Flaps 10.
1,000 to go.
Flaps 15. Speed brake armed. Standby altimeter set to approach mode for ILS. There's the runway over there. Landing gear down. The cabin is ready. Diamonds are alive-ish. Flaps 30. V speed is 138. VREF 40 plus 5. There's an EasyJet taking off, followed by a Ryanair, which is holding. Diamonds are alive, so flaps 40. Approach mode. One 108.9, 108.9. So why is it going in a different direction? Okay, heading select. I can only see one runway and it doesn't seem like we are heading towards it.
2500.
Right, I'm just going to hand fly it. Now I can ease into the turn.
$1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
The diamonds are wrong, so I'm
Flight
depending
slow.
on the PAPI lights.
Flight slow.
Trim down.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
500.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
400.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
300.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight
200.
slow.
$100. Approaching minimum 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Got throttle. Ooh, that was a hard one.
knots.
Manual braking. Still reverses.
Thank you for flying Ryanair. Last year, over 90% of our flights arrived.
I wonder how many stars this landing was. Approach rating very bad. Okay, good landing. The flight time was just over an hour. made it through the storm in one piece. It was a bit disappointing that there wasn't a full-on storm at the airport when we arrived. Flaps up. Landing gear off. Sorry, auto brake off. That's a Ryanair 737. Too much lighting. A very steep takeoff. Let's watch the replay. That was a very Ryanair landing. Rudder control. Passenger view. Right. Weather radar can come off. Terrain can come off for the first officer. Landing lights are off. Strobe lights are at steady already. Transponder to alt off or standby, which is even better. APU on. ILS 12. I'm pretty sure that's not on the chart. Perhaps I've got an outdated chart because runway 12 isn't on this one. So this seems to be runway 12 now, and the turn house apron is probably not there anymore. So I think the problem I had landing was probably because the scenery is a bit outdated. Flight directors can come off. Mr. Push altitude plus 100. Stab trim set to 4. Cabin lighting, medium bright. Probe heat off. Taxi lights and runway turn-off lights are off. Then get ready to stop, and we have stopped. Parking brake set. Wipers can come off. AP generators on the bus. Engines off. APU bleed on. Anti-collision lights are off.
Eyes at the door, ladies and gentlemen, you're very, very welcome.
Chokes, ground power unit. Cargo doors. Let's see which one. I'll probably just stick to Menzies. Anyway, thank you for joining me on yet again another flight. Shame we couldn't catch the storm at the airport, but we did encounter some turbulence in the air. I'll just add the ambulance there. See you on the next flight. And welcome to Edinburgh.